What's up, guys, and welcome back to the Global Esports Cup here on the GamesShow Azubu channel. We're going to have another best of three, the last one of the day, between Fast, Daedalus, Gentleman, and ESB. Now that these two teams, at least in this portion of the tournament, have taken a series yet, so I guess the bright side is someone's going to claim a victory here, and, well, my money's on the team that picked Leshrac. I'm Mikelorus, going to be joined by Lyrical Gangster for this third and final set. You ready to do this, man?
Absolutely, positively. Super excited. Haven't seen the little goat hanging out in this tournament a whole heck of a lot so far, but excited to see him now. Might be one of the last few times that we see him in the overpowered state, if we can all cross our fingers and pray to Ice Frog. That would be wonderful.
It should be coming in this week, I think, like a couple days, 2 or 3 or something like that, but yeah, I don't know. I'm sure teams are still going to be, unless he's just like completely thrashed with nerfs, which I'm pretty sure is not going to be the case. They're still going to be picking him up occasionally, just, you know, in the transitionary phase. But Leshrac is the opening, and Leshrac is probably the best opening you could ask for. Though Lina, not too far behind that Lesh. They do act very similarly. Leshrac a little bit more in the slower damage department, whereas Lina's a lot more bursty, but for the most part, they are identical in the roles that they serve for their team.
Yeah, absolutely. And, you know, one thing that I have seen picked up a few times when there's an early Lesh, Storm Sphere picked up, actually. So, potentially a safe lane Storm, or either that or a support Lina, or something funky's going on. One of these two heroes is probably not going to be in the mid lane, even though, you know, they both do tend to reside there quite often. You know, I think that if he does get counterpicked a lot, there's always the option there where you can transition him into being in an off-lane role or either in a support role. But considering the fact that we haven't really seen any other heroes come up that are super big counters to him, I'm expecting to still see him in that mid lane. And with the Dazzle there, it's going to be hard to burst him down through a shallow grave.
Whenever you have the chance of grabbing a Leshrac, the first thing you want to do is make sure that your Leshrac is defended through Dazzle, through heroes like Winter Wyvern or even Tusk. They all work very well and make sure this Leshrac is going to stay alive for as long as possible because, again, Lina, even if she's played as a support, is working with a lot of burst. Storm Spear can start off the fight, pull him in, make sure he can't get any sort of, counter spells off, and then Leshrac is still pretty soft at that point. So yeah, you got to protect him somehow. Interesting to see the Anti-Mage ban out. Is a hero that's usually picked up to counter Leshrac to some extent, but at the same time would be great for FDG to grab versus the Storm Spirit, so kind of balancing trade-offs there.
Yeah, and I think that, you know, it sort of makes sense that you want to be able to get rid of him. There's a chance there that with the first pick you could have seen ESB pick it up, but you know, it's a dangerous situation. It's sort of like mutually assured destruction, and just taking that off the board, making sure they don't end up picking him up. And Winter Wyvern is going to be the pickup for ESB. So kind of an interesting one. I don't know about this, because one of the problems that you're going to have as a Winter Wyvern is that if you do cold embrace somebody, Leshrac can kind of just sit near him and turn on that Pulse Nova and go to town. So Winter Wyvern good against physical damage, a lot of magical damage on FDG. I guess there is also always the opportunity to just sort of keep people off the towers with Splinter Blast and, you know, melt people down with Arctic Burn, especially since it's another hero that scales well into the late game, Winter Wyvern is. And you know, Shadow Fiend's banned here, as well as a Wraith King, leading to a Witch Doctor pickup. So there's a potential here for FDG to go a little bit aggressive.
Witch Doctor and Leshrac definitely can burst people down super quickly. Rubik now another kind of slower defensive hero for ESB, but with Rubik Lina, that's powerful enough. They can get away with quite a bit after that. Right now, I'm kind of feeling Huskar. Like ESB, if they were up against Huskar, they have a Lina Aghanim Scepter upgrade eventually, but there it is, Huskar. FDG just, I mean, it's simple recognition, right? Like, you have Dazzle already. You see the enemy supports very low damage, very low physical damage in general. Well, it kind of writes itself, doesn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. And it makes a ton of sense. And it's going to be very difficult for ESB to be able to deal with this. We've seen Huskar, the unsung hero of these matches, just continuing to get picked up. And to varied success, there's games where he just gets shut down, and there's games where he is diving fountain at 20 minutes into it. It just sort of, the nature of the hero inherently is, it's a bit like Pudge. You sort of double down on being able to make these crazy plays happen and really start to snowball from there. So I don't know what we're going to be seeing as these last couple of picks. Bloodseeker banned out. I think that's a really great decision there. Don't want to have to deal with it. Oh, Wind Ranger. Pretty good answer, I think.
We are seeing a lot of Huskar in this tournament, therefore we're going to see a lot of Huskar counters. No room for Ancient Apparition here. Wind Ranger is a hero that does get a lot of physical damage later on with that Focus Fire. And just shackling Huskar and ignoring him, also a viable way to go. But then FDG grab a Broodmother. Man, usually it's just one of these two heroes. If they're picked up and you're not ready, you're screwed. With both of them, it can get really messy really quickly. ESB have some tools to killing the Broodmother, so they're like kind of 50% prepared, but still, this is going to be a really tricky game for ESB. Their lanes have to go perfectly. Otherwise, losing towers, losing heroes, very, very quickly can happen.
Yeah, absolutely. This is going to be tough to sell. Some disconnects going off across the board. Not sure what that's all about, but I think the other thing to mention here is I think I saw a Wind Ranger Huskar game the other day, and the Wind Ranger, instead of going for a quick Aghanim Scepter, actually went for a damage item. I want to say it might have been a Maelstrom. I don't think so, actually, against the Huskar. It was something. She went for some damage item. It might have been Orchid. And then what you were able to do was just shackle and then ulti the Huskar, so that way you had enough damage to be able to burn him down quickly. So she didn't get the multiple focus fires onto several different heroes, but being able to take down the Huskar with a quickness when he's sort of lacking that armor was really, really great. So a potential here that we might see a damage item as opposed to going straight into that Aghanim Scepter. And I would probably imagine that she's going to go for a Blink too. Maybe not with Storm Spirit. We'll see.
And that should be the game plan for ESB, like eliminate the Huskar, eliminates most of the damage, or a good portion of the damage from FDG. But that's where the sustain comes in. Like, the heroes that FDG have, the core heroes, do a lot of damage. Huskar, Leshrac, obviously, we've seen what they can do. Zara's Spiderling army, very threatening with Dazzle's Heal Bomb, but Witch Doctor, Dazzle, kind of on the lower end of the damage spectrum. That's fine, because their core is doing all the damage. Their goal is just to keep the Huskar up, and they have so much sustain. Like, the Grave, obviously, just you cannot kill this hero, and he will just go off afterwards. But even the slower methods of Shadow Wave and the Voodoo Restoration, killing off any of these targets is going to be quite a hassle for ESB, and at a certain point they might just have to try to get on the back lines first. That's going to be mostly, if not completely, up to the Storm Spirit. If he's unable to get to the back lines, kill off the Dazzle, pick off the Witch Doctor, then things might get pretty rough for ESB pretty quickly.
Yeah, absolutely. It can be very difficult for them if they don't end up sort of initiating and following through correctly. I will say also something to mention here for you guys that are just joining us right now. FDG has been in every single series today, so this is their third best of three. Is that correct?
Yes.
So that might play a little bit into some of this pick as well. It's looking like one that's just meant to roll over quickly and get this game over with. But honestly, it's a very, very potent draft, and I think also, like, if you end up roaming around with 4 heroes here, leaving the Broodmother do her own thing, you've got 2 different heroes that you need to try and burst down quickly, because Huskar, it's great that you want to try and burst him down, but then that leaves open the Lesh to be pulse novaing you to death the entire rest of the course of the fight. So either way you slice it, ESB has a lot of work to do if they want to come away with this one with the W.
And step 1, of course, is to get their Lina player back in. The nuke damage of the Lina is going to be so essential at dealing with these softer supports. If you somehow get the Lina back there, just by good angle of initiation or whatever, then yeah, you can just instantly win a fight thereafter. So yeah, they need this nuke damage from Lina to come up. They need the Storm Spirit to actually have a good lane. And this is something we kind of glanced over. Storm Spirit typically doesn't have a great lane versus Leshrac. Typically does need a little bit of help. I would expect Wyvern to maybe dump a couple of Arctic Burns into that mid lane, but even then, the spam of Lightning versus the Storm Spirit does add up very quickly.
You think that it's going to be the Storm Spirit in the mid lane there?
Well, yeah, I mean, there's a chance that the Storm Spirit's going to go there. Wind Ranger actually going to go for Null Talisman. Tango is actually gearing up to go for mid lane. The matchup is better for the Wind Ranger, but still not favored in the ESB direction.
Well, and the other thing about that makes it tough, I guess that because of that, maybe we're going to end up seeing the Lina up there in the off lane, or Wind Ranger heading up top now. They have a lot of versatility with this draft, but I'm not exactly sure where everybody's going to end up going. They might actually end up doing some dual lanes or something here. Rubik is sort of heading over there as well. I doubt we're going to see a Rubik in the mid lane. Not often something that you see, but can occasionally be viable and fun. But actually looking like Wind Ranger is going to go in the off lane. Very strange.
Yeah, usually a pretty clear indication is who has the most shared tangos. They're going to go towards mid, and this time it's going to be Lina. It's just not always going to be the truth, but most of the time it ends up that way. Let's see who's going to be playing what. FDG on their third series of the day. Maybe fatigue starting to set in. They're going to put Zara on the Broodmother. Bottom Droid is on the Leshrac. We have, what was it, Lady Luck on the Witch Doctor. Tirson on the Huskar, and up towards top it's going to be Lodin on the Dazzle.
And over here for ESB, we got Fake God, who's going to be playing that Wind Ranger, probably in the off lane. Moogly is going to be on your Rubik, hiding over in the trees. Cold Seaman up on the hill. We have a name that I cannot pronounce. I'm very sorry about that, but it is going to be a Storm Spirit player. And last but not least, Fozzie with a couple of carrots is going to be on that Lina. Is going to probably potentially drop down a Light Strike Array here. 1.6 second stun should be more than enough for her to get that rune. And Wind Ranger getting the one up top, a little bit of danger up there. Might be able to make something happen. The casks are doing work, but still is going to be able to get that Witch Doctor there very nicely. Rubik getting the last hit. More stuff getting a little bit messy over here in the mid lane. Storm Spirit ends up going down as well. Are they going to get anything in return? Lodine does go down, and it looks like maybe they're going to be able to continue to fight. Leshrac takes out the Wind Ranger with the combination of the Burning Spears on her, and 2-2 at the start of this game at 27 seconds in. Pretty action-packed already.
All right, so let's break down who actually was involved there. 2 supports dying for FDG, Storm Spirit and Wind Ranger, meantime dying for ESB. That in and of itself favoring FDG. First blood was drawn by the Radiant, however, but Leshrac got 2 kills, and he is going to have the fastest bottle you're ever going to see. He ate one through one tango, yeah, but he was able to get into a really safe position in the back lines where he was just spamming Lightning Storm 24/7, and Huskar was in the middle of everything, just throwing out those burning spears. We saw, like, in the middle of that fight, Dazzle, very low HP, just trying to distract away so that the Huskar was able to get Burning Spears off. So you could already see FDG approaching that fight a little bit safer now. Towards top lane, they're going to drop Fake God really low. Windrun is leveled up, and they know about it. But still, Wind Ranger in the off lane. It's there's a reason why we don't see this hero here all the time, because, well, especially in this situation, up against 3 other ranged heroes, the Windrun's not going to be up all the time, and she kind of doesn't want to always spend her mana using that skill, and well, again, she's gonna have to use it to get away.
You know, the thing I'm wondering is if she might have thought she was going mid or something here. I'm wondering. That seems like a weird thing to happen, but the skill build for her is also a little bit strange, because you take a look at what she's got. I'm gonna take some more right clicks here. Honestly, it's tough. She has the null tally and only 2 tangos. I'm wondering if it might have served her better potentially to have a salve or something. Oh my god, she might actually go down here.
Cast. 1, 2, that's it.
Oh my goodness, able to get the kill. And I'm wondering about that regen again. Would it have made a difference had she gone for that regen instead?
Yeah, I mean, Wind Ranger, as far as her skill build is concerned, really grabbed that just because of the tussle over the top lane boundary rune. So you can't really blame her too much for that, but yeah, having this build is just not the right build. I would expect boots first on her in this particular lane, or just, you know, mixed stats, not the null talisman, because the damage is not going to be useful. Maybe now it will be if Mowgli's able to get the lift up, and they will, but there's a cask bouncing through, which will stun up the double damage Rubik, and then jump to Cold Seaman as well. The Witch Doctor is going to take the bullet here for the team, but now with the heal, Shackle actually going to land super long range, but the damage, yes, it will be enough. The Rubik double damage is going to be just enough to kill off that Witch Doctor, but yeah, it's something for ESB. They're going to need a little bit more to truly balance things out, because over towards the bottom lane, Broodmother going strong onto the Storm Spirit right now. And there's no detection here. Oh, there actually is detection for the Storm, just hasn't deployed it yet. But over towards mid, Lina is absolutely getting smashed by this Leshrac, and Rubik's getting smashed by the Huskar up towards top. Burning Spears to stack up, and as Rubik, there's not much you could do. Storm Spirit very low. Zara, one shot, not quite can do it. 6 HP. The Storm Spirit's gonna live, but not for long. The Spider bites him down. Storm Spirit down. Droid also has an opportunity to kill off Fozzie right now. Split Earth to land. No mana. He's gonna try to bottle, but the range creep is constantly canceling that. Fozzie's gonna whiff his entire combo. Droid needs a couple more right clicks. That's the second time Lina has to hide in those trees just to live. She has 3 CS versus Droid's 20 and 13 denies.
Yeah, this
Fozzie's
is
now just gonna die. Droid's gonna get the kill, taking some creep aggro. Will die afterwards, but that's the second kill that FDG got, where they get the kill and then they die straight after.
Yeah, it's like, it's so difficult right now in that lane for her. Getting those 2 kills early, and then him being able to consistently, Leshrac that is, toss on out those lightning storms. It's really hard to lane against that when you're able to get a good start on a Lesh. And the other thing to mention here, Storm Spirit ended up dying bot. They rotated over the 2 supports to the top lane to try and help out a little bit with the Wind Ranger, since she was already going down. And now because of that, that left the Storm Spirit solo against the Broodmother, and you saw what happened there. Able to get the kill. We also see see that the Sentry Ward battle is actually going to go in the favor of the Dire. Not going to be able to get any more hits off there. It does continue to get broken away. He's just continuing to be kited around here. Nicely done one more time. Are they going to be able to make anything happen of it? No, because the Sentry Ward got taken out by the Broodmother.
Fake God narrowly dodging death up towards top lane. We can also see the extensive micro of Zara right now. The Storm Spirit's Remnant takes a little bit of a delay before it actually pops. More than enough time for a Broodmother to pull her Spiderlings back because the Spiderlings are so fast in the web. So the Spiderlings, though they can in theory give the Storm Spirit a lot of extra cash, is not going to happen until Storm Spirit gets initiation on the Broodmother. Now he has the bottle running, so he'll be a little bit better positioned to deal with this. And he's still on top of the last hit denied chart, but man, nothing else is going right for ESB right now. Fozzie's going to get a little bit of backup. There is a Rubik right around the corner, but similarly there is loading, and they know that Mowgli's here. Uh-oh, hide Rubik. Oh, they saw you. The Pulse Nova's going to burn him down, and Dazzle's actually going to draw that kill. Yeah, he walked right through a Dire Observer Ward to get to that position. Poor Rubik didn't see it coming.
That was really, really bad. That's too bad. Could have really gone very well. Top lane, a little bit of more action here. I don't know if the Wind Ranger is going to be able to get this kill. He's just going to sort of push on back the Witch Doctor, but needs to be careful. The Wind Run is slowly down off of cooldown. Should be perfectly fine. Taking a little bit more right-click damage here. No Poison Nova, touch out of the Lodine. And I think that it's just continuing to be a very difficult lane for the Wind Ranger. Only one last hit so far in terms of net worth, about 12k, because she hasn't really been hurt too badly in lane. And it's a tough matchup. I think that across the board here, ESB is just getting a little bit outplayed by FDG.
It's the effects of having kind of a weak-ish off-laner. If this was a Darkseer we're talking about, or a Clockwork, these two kind of low-damage supports of the Dazzle and Witch Doctor, they'll be able to poke and prod eventually, but they will also have to fear just the turnaround with a Battery Assault or an Ion Shell. Wind Ranger really can't do that. She won't really be in a position to do that for a very long time. Partially because her kit doesn't really allow her until she gets like level 9, but also she's no longer in the lane. She is working with Jackal Shot level 2, and that is a very high impact skill if you're able to land it, but now the top lane is going to be dominated by Huskar, who already has his armlet completed 6 minutes in, slightly below average, or I guess sooner than average. And yeah, next is Boots, I'm sure, and he could just go ham on this top lane. Not really that much he has to worry about, like a smoke up from Wind Ranger and Winter Wyvern. Huskar is not going to fear that in the slightest.
Yeah, he is completely and totally fine. I no worries at all about anything that he might want. They're going to try and hit the Shackle here. Shackle does connect with the Illusion. This might be a little bit of a kill here. No, not going to be able to do it. Dazzle's in the area also. He graves on up that Lash. Less second. Fake God taking a little bit of extra right click. He's going to be able to get taken out by the last right click there from the Leshrac. Double kill for him. Dazzle ends up taking out the Lina. Disaster in the mid lane currently for ESB.
It was the Illusion that killed him, actually. The Wind Ranger literally had 1 HP. And, oh, Cold Seaman's gonna try TP Droid Split Earth. Gonna connect and kill that Winter Wyvern. I thought the Winter Wyvern was fine, but TP just taking a little bit too long. It's a bloodbath over in mid, and FDG get nothing but wins there. And Leshrac got a whole bunch of them as well. 6, 1, and 2. Arcane Boots already up. Yeah, you can get anything at this point as Leshrac. Most likely it's just going to be Eul Scepter or Bloodstone or something like that, but really no matter what he gets, it's going to really break the back of ESB. And top lane also, the Huskar is pushing pretty fast at that. Just that's the support power. That's why you pick up Dazzle and Witch Doctor both when you have a Leshrac, because he got jumped, yes, but he was able to turn around and do so much damage knowing that he had his defensive supports right behind him.
Yeah, he doesn't care at all. As soon as that Dazzle's anywhere near him, he's ready to go ham. We do see the Storm Spirit picking up level 7 now, does also have a Soul Ring, but he's the highest net worth right now for the Radiant on ESB, but at the same time, you're looking at the Leshrac, who's got 4,500 net worth. He's almost 2,000 gold ahead of him at just 8 minutes into this game, and I don't know. It's very scary. I don't know if they're going to be able to make this happen. As long as Dazzle sticks around mid and they don't get any ganks off on this Lesh, he's going to continue to do whatever he wants.
It's not really the time yet for Storm Spirit to jump in. Like, he is with that Ball Lightning. Yeah, that's kind of nice, but he really does need some sort of extra item if he's going to go in. Like, even upgraded boots would be good enough. Grab Power Treads, grab Arcanes, I don't really care. They're going to try to go for the Huskar up towards top. That's not going to work in a million years. Yeah, the Storm Spirit just needs to get a little bit of extra farm. They're instead going to shuffle him out of the bottom lane, give it to the Rubik. But this is exactly what Broodmother wants, because she's just going to send her spiders in. Run, Mowgli! Oh, poor guy. There's nothing you can do about this as a Rubik. He's going to lift up the Broodmother, maybe stun some of her babies, but the spiders will chase him down. That's a super dead Rubik down towards bottom lane, and a lot of damage onto the tower to boot. Are they going to get any sort of trade? Nope, towards top, they're going to jump in towards Fake God. He's going to get Embrace, canceling his TP. That might just kill him off because he has no more Wind Run. Oh no, Wyvern, why? The unintentional maybe troll plays, but in the meantime, Storm Spirit's gonna find Droid. This is not gonna happen for the Storm. Split Earth nowhere close to connecting, but the Pulse Nova trading evenly. Now here comes loading with the Grave. Not even needed. Storm Spirit to fall. And also at the same time, the Winter Wyvern does pay for his misplay over in top. Turson does draw the kill there. FDG feeding relentlessly off of ESB, and ESB can't get anything going.
This has been a real stomping so far. Now, I will say that I think that FDG's draft has just been really good throughout the whole course of this game. I don't know if they even would have been able to do it with perfect play, honestly, ESB so far. Not that the game is over either, but when you already got the tier 1 tower gone, and look at all of these spiders over here at the hard camp down for the Radiant. There's so many of them, and as soon as anybody moves away from this lane down here, Cold Demons, I don't think that they're going to be able to keep the Broodmother off. Honestly, the Winter Wyvern right now is level 4. Oh, Huskar actually goes down to tower.
Yeah, he just, I guess, screws up his armlet. It's not a big deal. Shit happens, I guess. But yeah, this Broodmother also, like, to add another problem onto the ESB list. Well, she's gonna run to Cold Siemens right now. He will just get dropped. Embrace is gonna save him for a little bit, but no, there's no escape here for the Winter Wyvern. They do pick off the Witch Doctor in the meantime. First uses of Laguna Blade, gonna grab that one, as Zara does eventually kill the Wyvern. She's going to go for Orchid, and right now for ESB, they don't have anything resembling a Yule Scepter on Fozzie. They really don't have any way of getting, well, there's Storm Spirit dead, of killing off the Broodmother, with the exception being a Storm Spirit jump in. But if he does jump in, he just gets silenced. It's going to be a Orchid race, maybe, but the Broodmother has hers, and Storm Spirit has absolutely jack all. So this bottom lane, you need 3 heroes to deal with this Broodmother effectively. Up towards top lane, Lodine is going to, well, almost get shackled by Fake God, but seeing the Witch Doctor come in, they will call it quits. Fozzie's in the area, but this is Alina without Laguna Blade and without a lot of mana. This top lane is really the best shot for ESB to make something happen, but it's just not going to happen.
Yeah, I don't think that they can even initiate onto these supports here without another, which is not necessarily what you want out of your offlaner. And then the other hero that was mid, you know, it's honestly a little bit too difficult. We are going to see a little bit of an initiation over here. I don't think that Fake God can do that much. He's got Grave whenever he wants it. There's going to be the Paralyzing Class going down one more. Huskar, meanwhile, taking on out the Aegis. 2-1 LSA. That's going to be pretty solid, but Fozzie's going to go down to the one more right click. Can Fake God do anything? Shackle between the Leshrac as well as the Witch Doctor. They do end up running into Mowgli off to the side, able to steal the Lightning Storm, dealing a good amount of damage there. The real Lightning Storm is coming in from Droid, and he has everything that he needs. Not a ton of mana, though, actually. That's a shackle on top of 2. If they're able to make something come of this, this would be pretty good. Lodine ends up going down there. Lesh kills him. I don't think that they can really do much up here. Oh, catches Cold Seaman. Is he going to go down? Honestly, one more hit potentially could be it. Not going to be able to do it there with the Shadow Wave, rather.
Some serious sustain coming out from FDG. This is like their draft in a nutshell right here. Just the 3 heroes. Yeah, the Broodmother was farming the entire time. Huskar was farming Roshan the entire time. He got that one off with no problem whatsoever. And ESB just unable to bring in the troops fast enough. Diving the tier 1 tower with Alina. Yeah, I mean, that's probably not what you want to be doing ever. So ESB kind of just, I feel like getting antsy a little bit. Like trying some desperation moves, but that's obviously just going to be punished as it has been. And now over towards mid, they're going to clean that one up. Bottom lane, here comes Zara, and Fozzie still without Yule Scepter, has no recourse up against this bug. Shield drop super quickly. They're going to try to go for loading up towards top lane. TP out, no shackle, no pull, and Dazzle is going to live. ESB, they need to get something. They need to get those Dazzle kills, honestly, but just not in the cards.
Yeah, that's the one that it's a gimme. You gotta have that one to be able to take him on out, but unfortunately, just no way to interrupt that TP at the moment. Storm Spirit trying to go for that max damage build because you need to be able to burst down Leshrac, but you also need to be able to stop TPs. It's you just don't have quite enough yet. And if you look at it, he was only 10 EXP away from being able to get level 9, where he might have gone for. That'll happen.
Is this Observer Ward placed properly? It is. She saw him coming. I don't know.
Well, these things happen.
Yeah. Unfortunately, it's happened one too many times in this game for ESB. They have absolutely no momentum, and it's, oh my god, a 20k net worth lead, and it's 12k in experience, and still the tier 2s remain, so FDG have a lot more bags of cash to bust into later. This is looking real bad. Maybe ESB get a tower, but maybe at the same time they lose Fozzie, who's going to throw an LSA, but suddenly spiders everywhere. Who's coming in? It's Fake God. The Spiderling's not fast enough to keep up with the Lina, but Broodmother actually pops him with the Orchid. And Fake God throws a Shackle, will connect, but will not do anything with it. This bottom lane is just dead to ESB. They cannot put, I don't think, any number of heroes here to actually deal with Zara. They actually need 4 or 5 heroes, and then Broodmother's doing her job if she's able to pull that amount.
Oh my goodness, Fake God as well is going to end up getting Orchided here. Needs to back on out now with the Zara. Don't want to end up getting overcommitted here. We are also going to see the Storm Spirit. I think that probably they have to pick up something like a gem at some point in time, but at the same time, Tier 3 is about to go down up in the top lane. They don't care about anything. They do still have the Aegis up on the Huskar as well. Armlet toggling to victory, and honestly, he can jump on any of these heroes at any given point in time, and there's nothing that they can do about it. Shackle does end up connecting. What is that Shackle? Huskar taking a lot of damage, but he's still staying alive throughout all of this. Also do have Grave up if they want to use it. Probably will in a second. Jump forward by the Storm Spirit, trying to take on out that Dazzle, but he's not going to be able to find him. Is going to continue to do damage over here to the side. Droid is pulse novaing away while being shackled. Diving over towards Fountain yet again. That's another hero dead off to the side. Mr. Rubik going down to the Huskar is finally going to pop the Aegis, but it was about to expire anyways, I think. Good game gets called at 15 minutes.
If you're tired of playing games and FDG just got done playing 2 best-of-3s, this is the type of game you want, right? Like, that was a 4v5. They didn't lose anybody. I thought it was going to take a little bit longer to actually end the game. I thought it was going to take a little bit longer to end the game, but usually it's going to be 4 heroes versus 4 heroes, 4 heroes versus 5 in the top lane where Broodmother's pushing in bottom. But having the inverse means that FDG just get the free win. And again, it's the draft that ESB just really weren't prepared for. The Wind Ranger offlane, I mean, yeah, it's not really a thing. You want your Wind Ranger to get farm to provide that damage out, but leaving the Huskar alone up there like that, not a good plan. And of course, Droid is 12-1-4. That kind of hurts.
Yeah, a little bit. No, well, GG pretty much. I mean, Storm Spirit 0-4-2, it pretty much says it all. It was a good one, though. Looking forward to see what happens in Game 2, what corrections could be made.
Let's see if Fast Daedalus are able to close it out in like 30 minutes total. Guys, I'm Mikelorus. I've been joined by Lyrical Gangster, and we'll both be right back for Game 2 between FDG and ESB.